What's good, you guys? It's Capital J Productions. I'm back with another video, and today we're talking about this Titanic submarine that exploded, okay, in the bottom of the ocean, trying to view the Titanic, basically. Yeah, so it was a submarine. It was 5 billionaires that thought it was a good idea to go check out the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean. And they end up dying, basically, which is, it's not funny. It's a tragic story, but honestly, I mean, these guys was obviously not that smart, and I'm going to break this down the way I see it. So you're probably I think my interpretation of things is probably gonna open up a lot of you guys' eyes based on like how I see this. So let's get into it, right? So basically, let's talk about the story first, okay? So I wanted to make sure I get as much facts as possible about you know, what's on the news, what's out there. But then it's like, it's crazy on YouTube because you don't want to take people's certain videos. You can get certain ones you can't react to, stuff like that. It gets kind of crazy. So I just decided to check out a couple of articles, and we're gonna talk about like some facts and talk about some things, like if I were to do this, how I would have did it, okay? But let's talk about the story first. So basically, it was these 5 billionaires, from what I know, that went down here. And this article, you know, it talks about the guys. I'm not gonna read through this stuff. I didn't actually read through it. They seem like good guys, you know what I'm saying? Good guys, but probably smart as far as educational smart, but definitely not street smarts, definitely not biblical smart, okay? You know, they probably knew all kinds of, I'm quite sure these guys were brilliant minds as far as like education, but you know, you gotta have that street smarts, you gotta have that biblical smarts too, and we'll talk about that in a while. But basically, this story is just telling about this article is just telling about these 5 guys, and this is the type of submarine they were on. So this is an actual picture of the submarine here, which to me, it just, I mean, I didn't look up. I didn't really get to look up like how deep the Titanic, but I mean, it's probably at the bottom of the ocean, right? So I mean, I don't think this little submarine here is, you know, suffice for the job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think that this will cut it. And it's like, if I was one of these billionaires, I would have been like, you know, I am not about to go to the bottom of the ocean of that little thing. I would rather take my chances of going to the bottom of the ocean with something like this. The Marines, you know what I'm saying? The US Navy submarine or something like that. But this thing, okay, and this story gets really bizarre because, you know, they were saying that it was operated by an Xbox controller. And so, you know, I heard a lot about that, and I was like, nah, no way, that just can't be true, right? But allegedly, it's true, you know, like from all the articles that I was able to see online, and even this article here is saying that it's not joking, it's actually true, from CBS, which is, you know, CBS is big time, of course, as big as it gets, and I don't think they will put out a lie, but I still have to say allegedly, you know, that they used and they even have a picture of the guy with the controller here. So yeah, I mean, that's just nuts. I mean, to me, this whole thing got, in my opinion, just based off of what I know, and it just knowing the spiritual side of things, understanding that there's a God and a devil, and there's this battle going on for every soul. Okay, don't matter if you're rich, it doesn't matter if you're poor. Both sides are competing for souls. Y'all gotta always remember that. Okay, so, but yeah, that's a little bit. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But this is just nuts to me. That like, how could they feel so secure that, you know, this guy was using the Xbox controller to navigate? You know, it just seems like these guys were setting these guys up for failure to me. I mean, that's all I see with this story here. And like I was saying earlier, it's a key indication of why it's so important to not only have book smarts. You got to have it all. You know, you have to have it. You really do have to have it all. Okay, so anyway, after really thinking about it, right, I thought about it. Like, okay, let's just say, okay, I'm a billionaire and I want to go to the bottom of the ocean to see the Titanic. Let's just say I got all the money in the world, right? Now, this is how I will attack this. And this is why I'm saying these guys are not that bright. Because this, to me, this is how they should have did it. Okay, now let me explain. Now, if it was me and I have all the money in the world, right? Or at least have enough to, you know, to fund something like this, all right? And I get together with a group of my guys or whatever, 4 or 5 guys, and this is how I would attack it. Now, you know, AI is taking everything over, right? AI, these robots and everything, right? This is what I would do. I would say, okay, yeah, we want to go to the bottom of the ocean. We want to see the Titanic, right? Let's develop some robots. Let's train them. Okay, let's train them to run the submarine. We put all kind of cameras in there to monitor everything and to, you know, to look at data and make sure we get everything right. So we develop these robots, we train these robots to operate this, you know, this machine, the submarine machine, and we send them down there, you know. Now, I'm not saying you throw them right into the ocean right away, but what you do is, because like I said, if you got the money for it, then you have the money to get like a pool, make a big pool and simulate, like, they have these fake pools like that create fake waves. You get one of those, you know what I'm saying, and you create it as deep as you can. You can, you know, you put the submarine in there and you test it, you know what I mean, and you put the robots in there and you test them. And I mean, you can even just throw robots into the ocean, because I mean, if you throw the robots into the ocean, whether they survive or not, nobody dies. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody will live, and there's nothing to be maybe a little upset, because you're spending a lot of money anyway. Like, this submarine, it wasn't free. I'm quite sure it wasn't cheap to build, you know. So I mean, if we're spending money, but I'm definitely not going to put my life in the line, especially if I don't have the data to know if this submarine can actually survive that. I'm not just gonna take me and my guys, my crew down there, and we're just gonna go down there and then, you know, whatever happens, right? So that's how come I'm saying, like, and the crazy thing about it, that my idea is it's not like you can't do that, because that's why I got this next slide here, okay, of these robots. Okay, this is what they already doing. So just ask yourself, why did they just put some robots in this submarine and send them down there? Put cameras everywhere, so you have cameras, you know, and you have, you know, you're watching everything. Because I mean, this guy, right? Let's go back to the tab. This guy, he's watching everything from the controller, right? Like, he's controlling. You could, like, I mean, he was human. He was able to stay. How come the 5 billionaires didn't stay? So So anyway, right? I wanted to show this video here. Check this out. They actually programmed the robot to do this stuff, okay? So let's check this out for a second. Okay. It says something about the robot collapses under pressure. So, but he can't handle doing our job, doing the human's job. That's funny. He actually collapsed. Alright, that's enough of that. Okay, that's kind of funny. I haven't seen this video, but I just looked at it and I was like, you know, I just looked at this robots doing human stuff, because that's what they're creating, right? Like, and if they're doing it for this, how come they couldn't have done it to go down here? So just think about it. This whole story don't make no sense, and it doesn't add up. Okay. Now, see, there are some things that I know a whole lot. Now, see, now it's time to get to the biblical part of this. Okay, the stuff that you ain't gonna hear nobody else talk about, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, it's because they keep talking about the same Reddit like on TV, but they're not really gonna tell you the real sauce. Okay, they never gonna tell you the real sauce. Okay, because this whole story don't make no sense at all. But before I get to that part, and before I break everything down, let me take you guys to this verse. Okay, now this is Proverbs chapter. What chapter is this? 21. Okay, and I'll leave a link to this in the video so you guys can check it out. But it says 21 chapter verse 16. The man that wandereth, okay, out of the way of the understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Okay, now understand. Now I picked this verse. Okay, the Bible says a whole lot of stuff. I could have picked more of a well-known verse, but I wanted to pick something different. Okay, but this verse hits home for this story. This verse is spot on, because these guys have no understanding. This word right here, I'm talking about the 5 billionaires. Okay, that, you know, millionaires or billionaires, I'm not sure. But those guys have no understanding, okay? And look, it says, shall remain in the congregation of the dead. They thought it was really okay to go down in this submarine and go see the Titanic. Now, here's the thing that nobody talks about, okay? First, let's ask some questions. Why in the world would you go down here to see something that's in the past? That's something that's dead. That's something that doesn't exist no more. There's no people down there. There's nothing down there. Why in the world would you want to come to see this here? It's predictable. Why would you spend all this money to come see something dead that's extinct? Okay? When you ask yourself, doesn't make any sense. Okay, but if you want to look at things from a spiritual point of view, that's when things start making a lot more sense. Okay, so that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to open you guys up a little bit more to stories like this, because there's always another side of the story that you can't see. Okay, and it's usually biblical side. So what I'm getting at is, okay, is once again blood sacrificing. Okay, but all the points that I made, and I know I made some valid points. Okay, y'all gotta understand, no matter if you're rich, no matter if you're poor, no matter what situation you're in, the devil is always looking. Okay, he doesn't care if you're wealthy. He doesn't care if you're rich. He doesn't care if you have all the money in the world. The devil is always trying to take something from somebody. Okay, Now, unfortunately for these guys, they to me, my point of view, they got suckered out of their life, and that's just what it is. Now, see, y'all got to understand, there's always levels to this. You know, like, I mean, come on now. Let's just take a look at this real quick of this guy with the remote, you know, with the remote, an Xbox remote. I think I'm on the wrong. Yeah, this guy here. Okay, this is insane to me. You're using. I mean, you have 5 lives in your hand, and you're using a Xbox controller. Like, I just think that's crazy. But let me stay focused. Okay, let me just stay focused. And one thing I want to say is that for these guys to think that it was okay to go there, like, why would you want to go back in the past? Okay, it's one thing I've learned from God, and he had to teach me, because, you know, as humans, we kind of have that habit of just thinking. Let me break it down like this, okay? Let's say, and I know I'm speaking to this because I've made this mistake before too, okay? Let's just say I have an ex, and I have an ex that, you know, I know she's maybe toxic, but she's great in the bedroom, okay? Now we all can, especially men, we all have been there probably. If you're probably 25 and up, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Now, maybe when y'all first break up, you're gonna go back a couple of times, right? And you're really only going back because it's that one thing you like, right? And for women, it's the same thing too. It could be whatever. The guy is, you know, he could be a great provider, but then he's an a-hole, you know what I'm saying? And you know, you're not completely over him. So you go back a couple of times. But here's the thing. Once you truly realize, like, what you're doing, and God showed you what you're doing, and how basically you're not just going back to an ex, you're going back to death. You're going back to something that's dead. You're going, like, the relationship is dead. It's already dead. You just don't realize that it's dead because that person is still alive, or you're able to access that person still. So in your mind, you're telling yourself, oh, you know what? It's easier if I just hit her up. I know she'll do it. You know what I'm saying? It's easy then to move on. So I'll just hit her up, give her something she like. I know she like this. Let me go buy this for her. You know what I mean? Let me go do this. She gonna take care of me. Bam. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gonna get what you want for the night, but tomorrow y'all gonna end up arguing again. Or maybe even the same night after y'all get done doing what y'all doing, you're going right back into to death. You know what I'm saying? And you realize, like, dang, I shouldn't have did that. Yeah, it was good for, you know, for maybe an hour, but then after that, then what? It's nothing. That's what basically these guys just did. But the difference is they paid with their life. You know what I'm saying? So basically what I'm saying is, like, they should have never went down there. Like, what was the point of going down there? Like, you're going back to death. Yeah, and that's all you're doing. So, and that's what they got. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going back to an ex, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. Okay. So, I mean, that's the best analogy I can give for what these guys really did. And it's just, I guess it's just hard for me to believe that these guys was really, you know, like, what was they really thinking? Like, I don't understand how they couldn't find, like, these are brilliant guys. How come they couldn't have found a better way, you know, way to do this, you know? So, and this verse is just spot on, and it's like, and it's all over this story. And the crazy thing is, this was written so many years ago and been in this book and continues to be in this book. And if you pay attention to the stories, you're gonna see the Bible just constantly right. It's just right on everything. The verses are already there. Everything is already there, and you just need to connect it like a puzzle, you know. So yeah, but I want to know what you guys think about this story. I want to know Do you think these guys were right for trying to make this attempt? Whether it's, you know, do you think they was ignorant? Oh, you know, I didn't talk about the blood sacrifice as much as because a lot of people think that it's just these rappers are the ones who's getting sacrificed, but the devil. He can devour anybody, and if you don't understand what's going on, you can already have everything. Because remember, that's one of his jobs, is to steal. So when you have it, you have to be very, very careful. He will use people you think you can trust. He will use. You have to be your circle gotta be like for me, like I don't have no friends. You know what I'm saying? And I like it that way because I don't trust people. And God showed to me over and over and over and over again why you can't trust people. You know, you only should have maybe probably 2 to 3 people at max that you can trust. That's in your legitimate life. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, all the people that I grew up with, I don't talk to nobody. I don't really talk to my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you gotta understand when God picked you and you know you chosen from God, I'm not saying that you're special, but you just have to understand the great commitment that comes to that, and understand that many people are not going to step up to that. They're not going to step up to that level. Your guys got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand that, like, because if you try to be around these people, they're going to try to get you to be more like them, you know? So, and I meet people all the time, you know, I meet people and I'm around a lot of, like, you know, high ranking people, I guess you could say, or people who got I'm around quite a bit millionaires, and you know what I'm saying? People who got stuff, but most of them are a-holes. I'm just being honest with you guys. They would never be my friends. They would never be like, I interact with them because of, you know what I'm saying, because of like professionally, or just like what I do for a living. But other than that, I wouldn't really talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Because who I am, knowing who I am, I almost like I have to hide myself from, you know what I'm saying, from them, because they're not going to understand this side of, you know, this side of Jason. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's my name, Jason. I just call myself Jay for short. Most people in my family call me Jay. So, but yeah, you guys got to understand that. And these billionaires, man, my personal belief, I believe these guys set them up. They knew they had some fools. Okay, they had an easy target, and they used them. You know what I'm saying? And they sacrificed them, and they're gonna be rewarded. These type of guys. Because I mean, come on, is intelligent. Let's look at this guy, right, with the Xbox controller. That looked like a PlayStation controller to me, but it's supposedly, allegedly, an Xbox controller, right? You think this guy is not smart? You think this guy is not? He's not a genius to come up with a way to come up with a way to take an Xbox controller and link it up to a submarine. That's amazing. Like how did he manage to even do that? So you could be that wise in that category, but you can't be wise enough to set people up. I mean, it's of course. I mean, it's believable if it's somebody your skin color, somebody you trust. You've been around him. You see what this guy can do. You see how he's impressing you with. Oh, he's set up this controller. He's, you know, it looks fantastic when it's like, oh my God, you can control a submarine from an Xbox controller. Yeah, that's impressive. But you gotta still understand. You never know what this. You know, what if none of the 5 billionaires, right? What if none of them was devil worshippers? But what if this guy was, and he wants to rank up with the devil, right? And so he's like, oh, I'm gonna set these guys up. I'm gonna set them up. If anybody knows how to make this controller fail, it's this guy here, and make it look like an accident. And who's gonna question him? He's the genius, right? And if it's nobody else as smart as this guy here, then what? See, nobody thinks about this type of stuff except for me, because I know there's probably a few people out there who's smart enough and who don't understand all of these things. They just don't speak up or they don't say anything. So they are out there, but this is the type of stuff you guys got to start thinking about. You know what I'm saying? This is not about money. A lot of people think everything is about money. No, it's not about money. It is about blood sacrificing. That's what everything is about. It's about winning souls. Everything is about winning souls and tricking people out of their souls. It happens. It's happening right in front of y'all face. It's just you guys gotta train your brain and train your mind to see these things and put the pieces of the puzzles together. That's all it is. I promise you, because I didn't know none of this stuff. I'm just a regular black man that was from the hood. I didn't know nothing about this. I never had a father in my life. My mom, she just taught me the word from a very basic, you know what I'm saying? She just taught me the basics. But God had to come in my life and teach me everything. Had to basically shun away most of the stuff my mom taught me, right? Because my mom, she just taught me what she was learning from other pastors. But see, when God come in your life, oh, he's going to teach you everything, especially because I asked him, because I knew I didn't have a father in my life. And I wanted to know, I wanted to understand the world. I want to understand everything because I need to know how to operate in this world. And so in order for you to learn how to operate in this world, you got to have God teach you. Okay, and it's going to be some stuff that you don't agree with. It's going to be some stuff that you don't like. But just think about it. Like God had to tell me, right? There's things that's happening on this earth that he doesn't agree with, but he gave us all free will. That's why it's happening. That's why bad things like this is happening. They didn't force those guys into that submarine. You know, the guys in the submarine, they decided to go. They probably thought it was a good idea. Yeah, dude, we'll be all right. We trust. I'ma just name him. I'ma just name this guy Tim. We trust Tim. Tim is the mastermind behind this. Man, he's never wrong about anything. We can trust Tim. He says, if he says we can go down into this little submarine and go down there and we'll be all right, we'll do it. That's what they thought. But the thing is, you never know what's going on in somebody else's brain. You don't. And you don't know who they go home and who they bow to. So that's why I'm saying I'm calling, like, because this whole story, it don't make sense. But you could tell if you got a sucker, like in your camp. You can always tell, like, oh, I got a sucker. I got a guy who I could just do this and he'll move. He'll move. He won't ask no questions, no nothing. He'll move. You know what I mean? And that's dangerous. You become stupidly dangerous when you do that type of stuff. Okay, so, or you be that type of way, I should say. But anyway, that's my my thought on this whole story. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this just was an accident? Okay, remember, these people are geniuses. Okay, like, you know what I'm saying, these people are really smart. They're very, very wise people. Y'all have to take that into consideration. Okay, all right, please do. But that's what I have for you guys today. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Y'all think I'm reaching? Y'all think I know, you know, whatever you guys think. You know what I mean? I respect everybody's, you know, opinion, you know. So that's all I have for you guys today. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.